It's 6 o'clock and my alarm ringing. Awake dreaming of the day it's not. Trying to make ends meet and maybe make it not. It's tired like a marriage, no horse and carriage or exchange a pair of rings. As my lungs divorce the air and now I'm sitting on the bus. Though the sky's kinda cloudy, kinda crowded, thinking I should give my seat up to this lady who walking with a baby, talking crazy on the phone, cussing, fussing that I can figure from a tone as I look into the eyes of a daughter.
Buenas tardes, good evening. My name is Luis Bautista, and on behalf of the Alpha Chi chapter of La Unidad Latina, Lambda USA and Lambda Fraternity Incorporated, and the show, I'd like to welcome you all to our educational event titled Bachatazo, featuring Grupo Vena, Lenny Santos and Max Allende from Aventura, and Lenny Santos from Extreme. Now, just want to tell you guys a little bit about La Unidad Latina. We were founded on February 19, 1982 at Cornell University. We are the first and only Latino-based fraternity to have chapters at Harvard, Princeton, Yale, Cornell University, and the rest of the 8 Ivy League universities. We're all over the country, from New York to California, Florida, all the way to Chicago. Now, before we get started with this event, I'd like to thank all of our sponsors, everyone who made this event possible. I'd like to thank Bernice Sanchez and La Casa Cultural Latina. I also like to thank Juan Acevedo and the Courtyard Cafe, our fraternity brothers Steve Lucen and Hallucinated Design for hooking up with the hot flyer. This event was funded by SORF, SCPF, PCC, and the Illini Union Board. So without their help, their funding, again, this event wouldn't be possible today. So why are we doing this event? We were founded again on this university on April 6, 2006. So not only are we doing this event to celebrate, but we also wanted to educate the Latino community and the rest of the UIUC campus on the genre of bachata. Most of us like to dance bachata, listen to bachata, but some of us may not know the rich history that bachata has all the way to its roots in the Dominican Republic. So today we look forward to learn a little bit about the bachata genre. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce the panelists for tonight. Well, I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hello, everybody. For those that don't know me, my name is Arturo Romo. I'm a junior here at UIUC, majoring in urban planning, born and raised in Chicago.
Hello, everybody. My name is Luis Farias. I am a senior in accounting, and I'm excited to graduate in about a month.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Raymond Morales, and I'm also a PhD here at the University of Illinois, as well as an MD. I'd like to thank you all for your time and attention, and thank you all for being here with us.
Are you guys ready to bring out Vena?
I can't hear you.
So before they come out, they're coming all the way from New York. So I really appreciate you guys if you guys give them the loudest applause you can give them. Show them that Illini love, and let's show them how we do over here. So without further ado, let's introduce Vena.
Check, check, 1, 2. How y'all doing? Make some noise. All right. Let's do this. I'm Max, by the way, formerly from Aventura, now with Vena. Rocking with my brother. You can introduce yourself.
Welcome to the Family Feud. How you guys doing? How y'all feel today? Oh, this afternoon? Well, whatever. I know what I mean. Now, we came out here gladly, wanting to give you guys some insights and info on a little bit of bachata history, which I'm pretty sure I know a lot about, and my brother here. And we came all the way from the Bronx, New York, to come and give you a little lecture and also give you a concert tonight. So
Y'all ready? Y'all ready?
with the full band, and not just we're right here in the back doing sound checks. So we brought everybody here, so you guys can have some fun tonight.
And before we begin, I just want to give you the legal disclaimer. As always, our Courtyard Cafe is an open forum for the Banner Champaign community, as well as the University of Illinois. Views expressed are those of the speakers, not intended to represent WRFU, UCIMC, Banner Social Forum, Airshifters, UPTV, University of Illinois, University Foundation, Courtyard Cafe, Lambda Upsilon Lambda, or any of our other funners. These
You're making me sweat. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, bro. I talk fast, but really you're just listening slow, as I like to say quite often. But we've brought these scholars down here to have an important conversation about the history of bachata, because I think a lot of us, being scholars here at the university, appreciate the music on many levels. But rarely we have caliber stars of your level coming out here to participate with us. So we want to probe your minds. In fact, how much do you know about bachata in terms of its origins, as well as, I guess, the story behind it? Because many people think there's actually many myths behind how it began. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's still arguably, being debated nowadays. Who invented it, and I don't really think that's really important because it's really hard. Because back then, if I invented something, in Dominican Republic, you can't patent it or, but the rumor says it was by a guy named Jose Manuel Calderón. Other people saying it's Paniagua, and other people saying Edilio Paredes. So, but mostly everybody's saying Jose Manuel Calderón. Basically recognized in the early 60s, I believe. But bachata was considered music for like the poor people in the barrios, in the pueblecitos. In the capital or in the main cities, they looked at that as like Americans looked at hip hop back then. Oh my God, it's the devil music. That kick drum is too hard, that snare drum.
That's not even music,
Yeah, exactly.
Get that
Yeah,
out.
so they actually performed that in bars, small little bars, for like the poor people. That was like the poor people's music. It's basically a guy with a guitar singing his heart out to a girl because she left him, and he's trying to
Same
get her
old story,
back.
man.
It's a
Spanish
bunch of
woman,
love
Spanish
stories, a bunch of love stories, and throughout the 80s, it was still just basically two guitars and guira and a bongo. Bass was called what was the bass called? No electric bass yet. It was like
Yeah,
a
no
bass in a
electric bass.
box. It was a box, right? And he would just play like it was called marimba. That's what it was called. 4 strings, and you just pluck it. Kind of like what the Mexicans do with the...
I think that resonated with a lot of people in the audience.
But we Dominicans, we're kind of lazy. We have to just I ain't carrying no guitar. So they played the bass with that, like a big box, and they brought out the bass sound. And through time, through the evolution of bachata, then came Luis Segura, who made it more like national on TV, but only in Dominican Republic.
Right.
Luis Segura is considered el papá de la bachata. Then after him came my favorite bachatero, came a whole bunch of guys together at the same time, which was Luis Valgas, Anthony Santos, Raulín Rodriguez, Joe Veras, Teodoro Reyes. All these people bachatas got very popular, but only in Dominican Republic. Then it started hitting in New York, late 80s, early 90s, mostly with Luis Valgas and the Anthony Santos rivalry between those two artists. They were like giving each other messages through the songs. So at this same time, everybody in New York is embarrassed to play this type of music, bachata, which is like kind of like blues, jazz, country music, folk music, all together in one, but with Spanish lyrics and stuff. So they really brought it out into the States, into the Dominican community and Puerto Rican community, in New York and Miami. So thanks to Anthony Santos and Luis Valgas, bachata started getting popular. But people were still embarrassed to play it in their cars and pump it. You know how you pump your hip hop and stuff in the street? Well, in New York they do. I don't know here. I don't know if you could pump your music. Well, you can't in New York either because, New York has so many laws now. But back then, everybody used to rock music, but not bachata because they were embarrassed of it. Even in school, when I was in high school, I went to South Bronx High School. Who was born and raised in the Bronx? So y'all know, BX, I know.
Yeah.
Born and raised in the Bronx, New York. I went to South Bronx High School, and we used to share tapes, like me and my Dominican friend, with the latest Anthony Santos cassette album that came out, and we're listening to it, but we was embarrassed to let anybody else know what we were listening to. Like, what are you listening to? Nah. The new Cypress Hill album. We used to like lie about it until we came out, Aventura. Holla.
I think some people heard of you guys. I think maybe a few people have heard of them.
And we were just basically 4 guys making noise in my mom's house. My mom used to, she used to throw us out. No, sabuya. We used to rehearse in my bedroom, right? In me and Mikey's room. And we used to open the window because it used to get hot in there. And then everybody in the neighborhood, everybody knows each other. In the hood, in the Bronx and stuff, everybody knows each other. So they knew we was making noise up there in that apartment. And people would scream out, "Stop repeating the same song." They used to shout at us, "Quit it. You guys ain't going nowhere with that." Like,
Wow.
yeah. Oof.
That's how it is in the hood,
It's
though.
tough.
You get critics in the streets and everything. But question for you, though, because you have been so influential in the game, who has been influential? You said Louis Vegas and Anthony Santos were 2 influences that you really took to heart as you were coming up?
Yeah, definitely. That was Romeo's idol too, Anthony Santos, Louis Vargas. Just like the hip hop game, Jay-Z versus Nas and stuff like that. We grew up hip hop. You guys looking at me that, but why he knows so much about hip hop and then he sings bachata? Like, what is? Well, we was born and raised in the Bronx. While we're outside in the street playing, we're listening to hip hop and freestyle music and R&B music. But when I'm at home, mommy's pumping the bachata and the merengue and all that. So that's how I got influenced. That's how I became a great producer in this genre. And that's how I evolutionized the whole bachata sound and made it more world, accepted. And not just 3 instruments sounding throughout a song. I put more instruments in it. I influenced the whole rock and the R&B and all that in bachata. And when we did that, they started the biggest criticism you could ever hear. We had it all. We got booed off stage, and DJs didn't want to play our music. But like little by little, guys like you, fans, they were just calling the radio station, "Play Aventura, play Aventura, play Aventura." The DJs had to play it like. So we.
Is that because they thought you were not being purist and that you were tainting the music, so to speak? Do you think?
Yeah, they felt offended. I mean, I respect that though. It was new to. It's like the whole Suzanne Boyle thing and where everybody was like laughing at her and everything, and even Simon was like, "So what you got?" And then the song she chose to sing, I was like, "Oh my God!" And then when she started singing, everybody's jaw dropped. You ever seen that?
Susan Boyle from
The X Factor was the name of that show.
Some British version of American Idol, I think it was.
The British version of American Idol. Look her up, Suzanne Boyle, and she made everybody's jaws drop with her beautiful voice, and now she's rich.
Yeah.
And given that bachata has come to be mainstream to this day, at least, do you still find these same criticisms, these same type of challenges today, now that it is more mainstream, or do you find different challenges, or if any?
Nah, you don't get that criticism no more. You're like, "Yo, I knew you guys were gonna make it." I'm like, yeah. But I go back to my neighborhood nowadays, and those same guys who used to bother me and all that, they treat you the same. Like, look at Lenny, you think he's famous. They still to this day treat, and I like that though. I still go and I'll share a drink or a beer with the fellas in the hood, and I go by the old neighborhood and say what's up to everybody. And we've done little things like build like playgrounds, and Mikey has done a lot of charity work with Healing the Children. He's very into the whole charity thing with kids. Talk.
Look at this guy. He's putting me on the spot right here. I mean, not to go. Of course, I wanted to continue on. Nowadays, I feel like we really did change the whole game, because now instead of wanting to sound like Anthony Santos or Luis Valga, they want to sound like Aventura. Yeah. One more time. What? Like Aventura. Yeah. And Anthony Santos was a great influence to me and my brother. And like he said, but it was only like me and him, like between us, because like our parents would bump the music. Nobody else was into it. But when we started coming out, like they never seen, like the image was very important. Before it was just an old guy, 40 years old, with a guitar. When we came out as a boy band.
With a shiny shirt.
Yeah, the shiny shirt. We came out, with the tank tops. Came out with the swag, like, what's up? Da, 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 da. You know, so then everybody was like, yo, these guys, that's rap. You're doing hip hop and bachata. That's not bachata. But little by little, you know, they were like, we made it cool for people to say, nah, yeah, I like bachata. I think that's the main thing that we did. That was our contribution. Yeah, the English, singing in English and bachata, you know, it was crazy. Like who are these guys? You know, they put in funk, you know, funk music, R&B beats in our music, and now they singing in English. Like, you know, we upset, you know, the old school heads, but the young crowd, that's what they wanted, you know. And if you think about it, as the years go on, the next generations, more Latinos are being born in the U.S. You know, like when I was born, 1982, Bronx, New York. You know, yeah, that I was like that first generation of the Dominicans being born in New York. You know, my parents came from DR. So then after me, this new generation is just more and more Latino, so it's more of that mix of, all right, yeah, you got Dominican blood or whatever it may be, any Latino blood, your culture, but, you know, you're born and raised here in the U.S., so that's a major factor, too.
And I'm curious as how did the more old school bachata artists that you guys looked up to growing up, how was it that they reacted to the swag, to the?
Oh, they used to criticize us too, man. The old guys, Raulín, Anthony Santos, and everybody. Because I found out, you know, after we were already big, you know, we meet like the family members, their sons, and they'll tell us, oh, sí, papi, let's say like Anthony Santos' son, which I know very well, Joldi. He told me, yeah, he used to make fun of you guys. Oh my God, those guys, I don't know, they're gonna kill this game and like kill it, not in a good way, like really kill it, like assassinate it, like really destroy it. And also the other guy, Luis Vargas, it was a famous tape that he recorded after we didn't want to sing in a restaurant that we were supposed to play together, and he destroyed us when he got on stage and talked bad about us. These little kids that just came out yesterday think that it was a whole miscommunication with that show that night. We felt really bad, man. New York was really, really hating us. Our own town was not feeling us. Like, we had to go through bar fights and people slashing out tires. We didn't know how to get home after the show. We were like, oh, man, yo, let's get out of here. We in Brooklyn. We passed through everything. We had to start hiring security. So, you know, we had to hire cops to protect us. There was a lot of threats with the group. But we didn't care who was going to play anyways. You know, like, let's play. And we passed through that danger zone a bit. But we got through it. We got through it as the group grew and grew. And we kept making more hits.
Actually, with Anthony Santos, we won him over. It was like, yo, we got a new album coming out. Want to do a song that I think was our third or fourth album.
That was the first time the
it was
movie
like,
stopped.
you know what? You guys, y'all made history. Y'all did Madison Square Garden or whatever. I got ya. Yeah. You know, we earned it, you know, because he's a living legend. So to do a song with Anthony Santos, like, you can ask for more as a bachatero, you know, that grew up listening to bachata.
But they love us now. And ironically, that same guy who trashed us on stage, Luis Vargas, in that restaurant, we met up last year. We did a summer show with Vanna, with my current group, in Santiago of Dominican Republic. That's his town. He controls that town. And he actually took his wife out to that show and was sitting front row. And me, you know, giving respect because he's one of the pioneers, I gave him a shout out and I said, and I even dedicated one of his songs to him. I played one of his songs with the guys, and we invited him on stage, and he got up on stage, grabbed the mic, and took back all those bad things he said about us as Aventura. You know, he apologized in front of everybody and said, like, you know, bachata, you know, is one word, one music. Latino, we're one. You know, if you're Salvadorian, Colombian, Puerto Rican, Dominican, anything, we're one. And I think we're the most powerful culture in the world. To be honest, we could do anything, right? We could cook, we could party, we could dance.
Yeah. I know you talked about how the overall themes of the earlier songs were, you know, love and betrayal and all that. When you guys a younger group came on to the scene, what major themes did you guys initially want to like put out there and any I don't know, any issues that you know.
That was one of the things we changed in bachata, the lyrical content into the songs. As you know, Romeo's like to me the best writer in the bachata game. He's killing it right now. Without him, I don't know what other bachateros could do. He has to stay up there so then we could all have an opportunity and come out and succeed as individuals. You know, we succeeded as a group. You know that I don't think there will never be another Aventura. Never, never. You know, could never replace that. I'm not trying to replace my current group with that because that's not the case at all. Even our current singer is a big fan of Romeo, loves his, you know, lyrical content and everything. But we started implementing like concepts that bachateros never sang about. Everything was about love, love. You left me, take me back. Wow, you know, the lyrics became repetitive, and it's like, I love you. I'm sorry, take me back. Nowadays, you say that to a girl, she's gonna be like, right? That's not enough, right? You have to get more poetic, more passionate. Like explain yourself. Like, sorry is not good enough. Sorry is not good enough at all. How you gonna explain? So you got to go into certain details and content. So Romeo's gift as a lyricist and a composer, and my gift as a modern producer and making his lyrics shine, you know, at a good quality level and not sounding too, you know, campesino. And Mikey's bass playing with us, like, it was just totally just all different, and it was very like dynamic and powerful. It's hard to explain, but the chemistry was just so, you can't make that up. You know, Aventura was never cast. You know, we're looking for a skinny guy with we're looking for a guy with good hair, green eyes, and this is not NSYNC, Backstreet Boys. It's 4 guys from the Bronx, and we got together, we learned and grew how to play our instrument by just, you know, practicing. I learned how to play guitar at the age of 16. Like, I didn't play guitar since I was 3 years old. I didn't know nothing. I just saw 6 strings. When I broke a string, I threw away the guitar. I thought the guitar didn't work no more. I swear, I threw away the guitar thinking the guitar wasn't working no more. And somebody told me, no, you can replace that.
Somebody came up with that garbage. But you touched on a very important topic and how you guys changed the game in terms of the style of music. I think with first the electric guitar as well as with the concepts that you chose. For me personally, I know Amor de Madre was the first time I ever heard someone talk about a topic like that in bachata. That was just, it was completely different. You were talking about issues in the way that hip hop was, true to the streets, I guess you say. It wasn't very watered down.
We talked about abortion. We talked about domestic violence. We have a song called Manita about that. Y'all know that song, right? Molestations, kids. Yeah. We talked about that.
That's right. And even the way you, I think, utilized Spanglish as well was also important. Can you talk
about it?
It
was just natural. We was not trying, you know, we was not trying to like, yeah, let's change the game. We're going to change it. I never knew music was going to be my career. I went to college. I went to John Jay College, you know, of Criminal Justice and 59th Street, and it's in Manhattan somewhere. So I went there, and Aventura was already established. We was gigging, and I didn't know college was so hard. And one class, I got to do 10 pages. I'm like, oh. Like, I just left high school. I'm like, damn, it's even harder. I'm like, oh. And me and my friend, we was in the same class. So we're paying for college, right? And then we treating it like, how you going to cut class in college? That don't make sense. And you paying for it. So I'm going in late, and so my mom's just checking up on me, calling the professor. The professor like, I can't tell you what's going on. He's an adult. He got to call me, and he got to answer my calls. And I did a year and a half, and then I see that our careers was like going up. It was either 100% in school or 100% in this opportunity that we had in the music business. And I chose the music business because the opportunity was there. I'm like, okay, I could always go back to college. Like right now, I'm planning to go back. You know?
Oh, there you go.
I love college.
And I guess an important issue you kind of touch on with that is in terms of topics that you chose for your music. We sort of touched on it. And I think an important topic for all of us, I know, I guess, in this new year, is that of immigration. And I think the influx of migrants from DR and amongst other places as well has played a huge role in music and culture and the way that America has been changing. But I don't think we've ever seen a bachata song specifically about immigration per se. Do you think that that could be a topic that you guys broach on a future album potentially?
We could do that. We could do that.
You got that?
we always think about what topic we could, because you know the Latino community, we need a voice, yeah. And a lot of that is, you know, is through artists. You know, that's good you gave us the idea, because, yeah, you know.
I get
No, but
copyrights
as a
on
matter
that.
of fact, we the government. I
Oh,
did,
yeah, Mikey in the rap thing,
you know, in the Aventura albums, I do my hip hop tracks, and one of those songs was called "The Government." You know, so we never actually did a bachata. You know, but most likely, you know, we will, because we got no problems. You know, as far as like Romeo, even Steve, we got no problems with talking about anything. But I did a hip hop. Ya know Spanish in the audience, right? So I'm español. Okay, well, I'm gonna kick a little line from that song, but y'all look it up.
This is
after
way back in the Bush days.
Yeah. It's called The Government, Max Agenda. It goes like this. Ese tipo Bush está pasado. Después que no usa, no quiere todo sacado, botado de este país. Nosotros estamos trabajando, ¿qué él hace aquí? Nada más causando guerra, jodiendo con cualquiera. Deje mi latino solo, salir de aquí o no. Hay que matarnos a todos. Let's go. We ain't going nowhere. Little piece.
Blessing the audience as well. Any questions you guys want to ask?
And how was it that you guys initially came to know each other? Was it because of you
We
guys?
came out the same womb.
No. Of course.
Very convenient.
No. No.
This guy's funny right
no,
here.
no.
He's a funny guy.
Let me rephrase that. How was it that you came? So obviously you came out of the same womb.
How we met each other?
But what was your first contact with other professional bachata artists once you did start to become known?
Well, I could tell you how we met, Aventura. We were first called teenagers de la bachata, but then we figured we ain't gonna be teenagers forever. Like, me, I'm 33 years old, teenagers. So we had to change the name. I met Anthony through a musician. He's still with me because he's loyal to me. He's doing sound check right there right now. He's one of my pianists. It was because of him. If he didn't bring Anthony to me, then Aventura would have never happened. I already had my band. I had a band. We was playing like in local grocery stores. And we find any light post, and if you take out the bottom latch, you could plug like, you know, a 110 volt there. So we used to plug our amps in those things. It was illegal, but, you know, we didn't care. But we plug it, and, you know, cops say they enjoy stuff like that. It's better than selling drugs or anything like that in the street. So we just play music in the street. We'll plug it in, and we'll do our noise. And like, I was a real bad guitarist. Like, we were just making noise. And I had a cousin of mine who just shouted, and he couldn't sing for nothing. So we needed a change, and one of my musicians, Ronnie, he's back there now. He's actually, I know him for years. So he told me, Lenny, there's this kid. He's always singing in the lunchroom, and he sings all these Anthony Santos songs, the guy we told you about earlier. And he sings it, I don't know, he sounds like a bird. His voice is so, I don't know, it's just like he has an auto-tune in him, built inside him, like, and he just sounds so nice. You got to meet him, man. You got to meet him. And then I said, okay, bring him to my house. And then we go to a rehearsal. Back in the days, when I used to be buff, I was like this. Anthony always says it. Anthony got intimidated because when I opened the door, I was without a shirt. And Anthony was like this. Anthony was skinny. Ooh, y'all haven't seen Romeo back in the days? Skinny. He has to put extra holes in his belt just like a shit. He gonna kill me, man. Nah, but he knows I always make jokes. I like making people laugh. But he met me and he asked me, so you know how to play this song? I'm like, yeah. Then I play it for him. Like, oh, do you know how to play this song? I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, and I'm playing it for him, and he's like amazed. And then, do you know how to play this song from Anthony Santos? I'm like, yeah. And then I play it. He's like, oh, you're the best guitarist in the world. I'm like, no, I'm not. So he fell in love with me. I fell in love with his voice. He started singing. We're in the hallway in the house because, you know, I didn't want my mom's kicking my ass. You know, in my house, you have to be quiet. So we went out to the hallway, and in the hallway with the reverb sound of the hallway, his voice was sounding beautiful. Like, damn, yo, this guy is good. Then I introduced him to Mikey, and then we had a rehearsal the next day at a Puerto Rican social club. Imagine Dominican music in a Puerto Rican social club. Them old viejitos used to get mad when we used to go up in there and make that noise. But the owner of that social club, you know, he showed love to them. No, dejen que los niños hagan su cosa, que hagan su música. But they used to charge us rent, though, you know. They didn't hook us up like that. We still had to pay them like $20 for 3 hours or something. And we always just chip in on the musician. Let me get $3. Let me get $3. Let me get $3. And that's how we used to rehearse. And that's how Aventura came about. After that, we grew.
And I'm curious, why the name Aventura?
Well, Aventura, we had a manager back then. His name was Julio Cesar. He was the one trying to get us signed to labels. There was a time that we had recorded Obsesión. Remember that song?
Holla.
That song was #1 worldwide, over Britney Spears and 50 Cent and Madonna. If y'all don't know.
I think a few people bought that song, I think.
It was. It was. In Europe, we were #1 everywhere. Germany, France, Italy. We was like, oh my God. Crazy. We did everything out there. So Julio Cesar was the one who came up with the name Aventura. At first, obviously, we're not going to like it. I was like, no. And he had the picture and everything. He took 4 models, and back then we used to do the skin fade haircut. That was the New York look, like skin fade. And we used to do the competition who had the lowest skin fade.
Still see the crispy line.
Like, Mas is low, Mas is 0. No, Mas is -0. So the manager was like, nah, you guys look like thugs. You guys ain't artists. You don't see Ricky Martin with a skin fade. You don't see Chayanne with a skin fade. You gotta let your hair grow. Ever since then, my hair's always been like this. Everybody's, Romeo's, everybody. This guy had a vision. Like his vision worked.
Yeah.
Right?
Like this is what I was talking about earlier. About this what really changed the bachata game. It was the music was always there, but without that image, it wouldn't get so big because it was like that boy band, that craziness, 4 guys. It's never been seen in bachata. But at the end of the day, this wasn't really a casting, like Lenny said. This was naturally. But this guy, he's a genius. He's the one that came up with the name Aventura and the 4 guys. I'm gonna make sure that the girls are gonna love ya, this and that. Just trust me. But it was like, we don't like that name Aventura, Sigue ahí.
Yeah. So and all that, and the way Anthony's the way he used to act with his character as an artist, he took it serious. Even his own manager was like, "Who you think you are, Ricky Martin? Or you think you?" No, because he was always like that. He was always off and on stage. Like, oh, Anthony thinks he's all that. No, he's always been his own timid person, very timid and into the zone, into his thing. And people would be like, "Why he don't want to do interviews?" Why? Yes, he does, but he likes everything to be perfect. He's a perfectionist. So people used to criticize him, especially our own people, Dominicans. Who do you think he is, Ricky Martin? Look at him now.
Ricky Martin's
But
getting a lot of
following
love.
that line, he's just as popular as Ricky Martin, or if not more, and has won a lot of awards as a lyricist, and he's been amazing with the Aventura contributions.
And you've also remarked, we sort of touched on the topic of other genres influencing bachata. You said hip-hop. Could you talk about that, R&B and hip-hop, and how they influence being from the South Bronx? And then how do you react to the new wave of scholars who now, it's almost like they're reproducing Aventura's flavor with just taking samples, maybe Casey and JoJo's songs that you hear in bachata now?
Oh, I did a little bit too much when I was doing the music. There's a song that I copied, the Beverly Hills Cop theme.
Yes.
Melody. Ever heard that? Yeah. We got sued because of that.
You did?
Yeah, like
How'd that work out for you?
like 2-3 years later almost, right? That wasn't like right away, but
That
those
wasn't
people
right
caught
away.
on.
Because that song was in the Obsesión album, and Obsesión made a huge hit worldwide. Everybody bought that album, and whatever publishing company owns that song, they must have heard it. And we got a big fat letter from a lawyer to our office, and the president of the label came to me and said, "Lenny, did you copy some melody from a movie?" I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I was trying to
like stupid.
What you talking about?
And yeah, it was just a little thing, but I flipped it, like I changed it. No. They sending me, me están mandando una demanda y tengo que pagar $50,000. I'm like, oh. So they ended up solving that case by taking the song out of the next to come like CD manufacturing.
Yeah.
They just took it out. But some people still have it. Whoever has the original albums is there. They didn't want to negotiate. They just didn't really. They felt disrespected that they didn't like our type of music, whatever publishing company that was with the Beverly Hills Cop thing. But getting back to the topic of
Influences.
I used the Michael Jackson thing in the thing. We still haven't got a letter from them. I used the that's in one of the tracks, but I just do little licks. because I like to show people the influence that we've had. You know, like how we grew up with Michael Jackson and the hip hop community, Slick Rick, Big Daddy Kane. I'm talking about way back. You know, KRS-One and hip hop was actually, it's not a myth. It's actually proof that hip hop was invented and created in the Bronx. And I was born and raised 2 blocks away from where it was created. So, you know, that influence and with the bachata and the Dominican and the whole Latino thing came to this.
So how do you react now when you see these new artists doing the same thing? Because back then it was taboo.
No,
right?
we love it. We love
Nobody
it.
wanted to touch
We love
that.
it. We love it. We have to, like, one group is not going to make this genre, like, recognizable, like, by everybody. Nowadays, we have the dance schools, they put the bachata category in their how you say it?
The
Their
genres,
schedules.
yeah.
Like, let's say salsa lessons at 1 o'clock, tango lessons at 3, bachata lessons at 6. You know, thanks to Aventura, we made that happen. So, you know, with these other groups now coming out, doing the same thing, influence the hip hop and all, that's the way to go. Like, we can't go backwards. We're gonna go back to the 2 guitars and the guira. We have to even expand even more and get more people involved. Like, we've involved Thalia, we've involved the urban market. Like, everybody's doing bachata. Alejandro Sanz, Ricardo Arjona. These guys will not get radio play if they don't put their song in a bachata remix. Because in clubs, all you hear nowadays in the Latino clubs is bachata, reggaeton, merengue, and salsa, and if you're música banda, if you're in a Mexican spot or whatever. No offense to that. I like my banda music. But you know, sometimes you go to the club, the next thing, what comes after that? Bachata. And back then, you know, nobody played that. Now everybody's playing it, and it's so. We were the first group, first bachata group to hit the Latin pop charts. We were just in the tropical charts. Tropical charts is small.
Yeah.
You know, you usually if you sell 40,000 records, that's a big success. We were selling 500 plus. We sold over 6 million albums worldwide, Aventura. That every time we came out with an album, they wouldn't even put us on tropical market, #1 in Latin. They'll put us on the other side where Maná is and Ricky Martin and everybody else. So that was a big success, like, for us.
Also, Larry Hernandez also has a.
Oh yeah, we recorded something with our friend Larry Hernandez.
Yeah, so you see, we down con los mexicanos también. Mexico. Chacho, see what happens when you mention Mexico? Let's go.
You gotta be careful. We did a song with Larry. We was actually also the first bachata group, Vanna, to perform at the Mexican billboards this past year that just passed, and it was a surprise to the Mexican community. But that was thanks to Larry. He put us there. You know, they were hesitant, but Larry had the #1 rating show, which is Larry Mania in Mundos, and he forced it. Like, no, you gotta bring Vanna. The guys from Aventura. We opening up the show with them. We playing bachata. And I'm like, okay. And when we started bachata, everybody like, whoa. They loved it, man. They loved it.
Nice. And you guys have a huge Mexican fan base too.
Oh yeah, we do. It's just like we was gonna do a big Mexican tour, but because of what goes on in Mexico,
But we did do DF though. We did like 2-3 concerts. I
we did
believe.
Guadalajara.
Yeah.
Guadalajara. How's that song? Guadalajara. That goes. I don't know that was then. I was kind of like a virgin with that. And I was like, I think I get scared when they say that. I'm like, am I gonna start coming in here and shooting when they say that? Well, anyways, but Mexico, we love that country. That country is so DF, the capital. You hear all these rumors. It's like about the Bronx. You're like, I ain't going to the Bronx. Bronx is not like it was back then. There's more cops in the Bronx than 20 states put together. Like, there's cops everywhere now, and it's totally safe. It's definitely like very modern now. But Mexico, we definitely have sold like just about over 1 million copies out there. We had a big tour that we was gonna do, but it was canceled by our tour promoter because it was just too dangerous. And we was gonna perform in some pueblos. And during that time, they were like, assassinating groups and stuff like that. They were killing bands, and we didn't know what was gonna happen with us. And we ended up canceling it. And we was gonna do like a 20-city tour in Mexico, but we only did like 4.
Yeah, we did 4. We still rocked.
We played in Monterrey too. Monterrey. Anybody from Monterrey?
Monterrey.
I know. Actually, Monterrey, we had a sold out show in Monterrey in Mexico. Hey, it's unfortunate what's going on and all that with in Mexico or whatever. But in Monterrey, we had a sold out concert, and 3 hours before the concert, something happened in front of that theater. They killed some people there, and when it was concert time, that place fits like 5,000 people, right? Like 6,000 people. There were like 2,000 people sitting there. And it was sold out. And we were like, yo, where's everybody at? Nobody wants to come. So that was unfortunate. So we had came back 3 months later and did it, and it was full. But people were afraid to come out that night. But at the end of the day, this is just to let you know how strong the bachata movement has come. So somebody putting my mic down, yo? Hey. Ooh. I feel like somebody's putting on the volume, and every time they put it down, I gotta eat the mic. I'm like, yes.
I was wondering about the business side of the bachata music industry. Could you? I know.
Business side?
Yeah.
Make
the
money,
business
boy.
side, right?
Yeah, make money.
No. I know. Max, you have your own.
Label Max Music.
Label, yes.
Well, let me tell you like this. The music business is a great business. It's a big risk at times, but if you know you have the talent, or you know that person has the talent, but you know it, you got to go for it. You got to have faith. You got to invest your time in it. You can't give up and be like, no, man, I've been at this for 5 years and I'm still here. The next day might be the day. As Aventura, we didn't plan that. If you're planning to be rich and all that, that's the wrong way to go about it, because you're never going to be rich. You're never going to get that fortune or that fame that you want, or if it's credibility that you want. A lot of times it ain't about the money. To us, it wasn't about the money. It was about representing who we was, and we should talk about themes and concepts that nobody sang about. We just wanted to represent the Bronx, represent the Dominican boys in New York and how we live in New York, and the influence with the English and the music and the hip hop and everything like that with this bachata rhythm. And as we grew, we just got more and more popular, but we just thought about the next month and the next song and the next song and the next song. But as we grew, we started doing big events. We lost a lot of money too. Like, there were promoters making millions off of us, and we didn't even know the group was charging $100,000 already, and they were still giving us $10,000 for the show. We didn't know that part of the business. We learned by getting, taken, by people taking advantage of us, and we learned. And you have to like lose something or something bad has to happen to you in the business for you to learn from it. Nowadays, I got Vanna here, right? We don't have a deal because I know too much about the business. And these labels, they get scared away.
Like we our own boss. Like
we have our own companies now. We're doing our own thing. But, you still need that corporate influence, because these people are connected on day-to-day, activities with distribution and co-op deals. Like, some labels already got automatic deals, let's say like with Walmart or Kmart or Target. We don't fall into that catalog, then we'll get there, but it's gonna take us a little longer independently. Because big labels, corporate, everything comes out in one day, everywhere at the same time. We gotta let go. We gotta hop state by state, city by city. But I call that building the foundation, which is way better than just shooting straight to the top. A lot of times you hear groups or artists, they like, who? I never seen. He's number one. I'm like, who is he? And then he's number one. He's popular. He's touring, and then next thing you know, a year later, he's nowhere. He doesn't have a foundation to fall in. We were very popular. We weren't even on the radio because we couldn't afford radio. You need to hire a promoter to pay for that on a monthly basis. But because we had that foundation that we built throughout the years, that big fan base, we'll pack out a club more than the person who's number one on the radio. And he'll be like in the next town, and the rumors will spread. Aventura killed it. It was sold out. Nobody couldn't fit. And these people were here. I'm not going to mention what other artists, because whatever. And their thing with them was empty. So at the end of the day, in the music business, as an artist, you have to build your foundation, fan base. Now we have Twitter and YouTube and all that. Back then we didn't have that. If you had a laptop, you was rich. If you had a laptop, everything was with a CD. A CD, here's my CD. Everybody cherishes a CD. Now it's like, the Galaxy League, give me that song, and you share it, or download, or you take your phone, like, you got an auxiliary cable here, play this. You know, nobody usually uses CDs nowadays anymore. But I think on the business side of it, you have to learn everything. Not only that, no, I just want to play my music and I just want everybody to hear me. If you want to look at it as a career, learn the publishing game, which is, you know, the rights to your lyrics and your music composition. Learn the distribution game, learn the managing game. Remember, manager works for you, you don't work for the manager. You know, some managers take over and they think they control you, and you can fire a manager anytime you want. Like, get out of here. You know, they're working for you. They got to do what you say. They're just your spokesman. So, but they have to have experience too in the music business. You know.
At the end of the day, before you sign anything, any contract, that's like, you know, the cardinal rule. Make sure, you know, you on your P's and Q's before, you know, you sign on that paper.
We never
That's the
signed
bottom
contracts.
line.
We only signed one, and that was when we was young, and we was with that same company throughout the whole career of Aventura, an independent company, which we were, you know, our company was getting trashed by other companies, corporate companies, because like, how these guys are number one, and they don't invest more than $200,000 in their project, and we're investing $10 million on one artist, and we can't get her to sell it. You know, a lot of times it's not about that. It's about the power of the people that's following you, the foundation, the fans.
You guys.
Yeah, for real.
Holla.
I'm going through that process right now with my new band. I've been to the top already, but I'm having fun doing this, going back to playing in clubs and doing this and that. I missed it, man. I was like kind of like tired of the whole arena thing. You know, like personally me. It wasn't about the money. It wasn't. We was making tons of money. It wasn't about that. It was just about like I really want that close interaction with that public that could just grab me and that whole environment of the club, and I could just, you know, do my thing on stage.
We rock stars. Well, what can we say? We love the stage. You know, we love playing
So
our
we're doing the
instruments.
same thing now.
We're musicians, so you know, you got to always go back. And even with Aventura, we used to do that. Like, we'll go do like a 30-city tour and only do arenas. But then like 3-4 months later, we'll actually go back to the clubs and do the Gira del Pueblo, you know, playing the local spots. And, you know, we caused a lot of havoc when we did that, but we still did it. You know, like as a musician, you always want to go back and play in intimate spots and kill it. Because at the end of the day, everybody in the building is having a great time, you know, dancing and whatever, having a great night, you know?
Oh, one thing I wanted to say is an example. It's like little, how you say, like a hypothesis or something. Like, I'm trying to use big words because, you know, I'm in a university, so.
I love
I'm trying to use
college.
big words. All right, let's say you have a promoter who wants to offer you $100,000 to play in a spot that holds 2,000 people, but, you know, he's giving you $100,000. You're like, whoa. The normal reaction, like, oh, well, I'm going to get them 100 G's, what? You know what I'm saying? But then there's another promoter that's doing an outside event. He's only offering you $10,000. But there's going to be 20,000 people there. Like, which one would you take as an artist? You have to take the one with the 20,000 people. Because those $100,000 are going to come later on and more, forever. But those 20,000 people is the biggest promotion that you're ever going to do. You might not get that chance again. For you taking that 100 G's to play in front of 2,000 people, which are probably rich people, because I don't know how much money they're going to charge at the door, because, you know, for the promoter to make his money back, I don't know. But you got to, those 20,000 people are, to me, are the people that are following your music. These are the people that can afford to go to a concert. There's still people nowadays that are dying to see Romeo and can't see him. You know, the tickets are expensive. But you have to play for the people that's listening to you day to day. The diehard fans that are dying just to see you live and all that. You got to choose that route, because that's what's going to sustain you, and that's your foundation. That's your foundation. Those are your bricks that you built. So if you fall off and you're not on radio no more, I don't care. I got my people. I'm gonna do a tour right here, pack out every club. I'm still good. You know, one of those examples is a colleague of us. I don't know if y'all heard of a bachatero called Toby Love. He's our brother. He's our brother from another mother. But he's our brother. He's from the Bronx, New York. He grew up with us. He was actually a member that I employed into Aventura. And he's a musician. He wasn't a singer. We didn't know he could sing. This guy was a conguero. He was playing congas in Aventura. And then one day in a rehearsal, he started just singing, like, and Anthony caught on to him, like, yo, you sing? You want to put a mic right next to those congas, and when I sing my hooks, you're gonna sing with me on the hooks. so we could have more, more better group. And through that, Sony got signed and picked up by Sony, and he made it an instant hit as soon as he came out. And to this day, he has built his foundation. So we don't hear him on the radio or nothing like that. This guy's taking over everywhere. He be in South America with a lot of shows in Europe, just taking over Europe, and a lot of artists that you don't hear about, a lot of them are still making a lot of money, just like these rock stars, just like the Rolling Stones and the Bon Jovis and everybody. These guys tour like every 5 years and rake in millions just by the little tours. These are people that never have to do albums again. So that's the type of level we're trying to get. You want to get to in music, and not just take those $100,000 for that one time. I'd rather take it, for when I'm dead, my family, my kids could still eat off of, what we work so hard for.
All right. Well, sorry to cut you guys off, but
I could talk, boy. You say you're gonna talk. I talk.
our time is up. We're on a strict schedule, so thank you all for coming, and let's give it up for Max and Lenny.
I have one last question.
We have to.
And which one of you three in Vena can dance bachata the best? Right?
I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to have to find out later. I promise you, you will see me dancing. Y'all let me know.
Yeah, but I'm good, though. I'm nice. I could dance.
You good? Okay.
I just do it by myself in my room.
Is that a challenge, or is that a... I don't know.
You challenging?
Maybe.
College boy.
Maybe.
All right, so later, I'm put you on stage. You put your own self on the spot now. Put you up on stage later.
All right.
No. I got you.
For all those who have gray wristbands, you guys are lucky enough to meet Max and Lenny, so you guys can stay here. The meeting and greeting and signing autographs and pictures will be done here on stage. Everybody else needs to leave either through those doors or... thank you all for coming out, and the live performance will be later on today. Doors will open at 8:15 here at the Illini Rooms A, B, and C. Come through. The show would start approximately at 8:30.
I'd like to say thank you to all our sponsors as well. I'd like to thank the Illini Union Board. I'd like to thank Student Cultural Program. I'd like to thank Storf for funding this event. I'd also like to thank PCC and Berenice from La Casa Cultural Latina. I'd like to thank them all. And I'd like to thank the elite brothers or hermanos of La Unidad Latina, Lambda Upsilon Lambda Fraternity Incorporated, Alpha Chi Chapter. End the show.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Clap it up, y'all.
From a tone as I look into the eyes of a daughter brought up by a mama, caught up in the drama, father heart far apart from where it started. Furthermore, I wonder what she hears. I wonder if her mother hear her tears. I wonder if her mother feel her fears. Just a 6-year-old kid, hard enough trying to live life a struggle as it is, thinking maybe I should say something, maybe not. Staring out the window zoning with my headphones playing something. Monday I wanna be alone. Tuesday late waiting by the phone. Wednesday I don't call you. Thursday I'm gone. Friday you miss. Saturday we wrong, and Sunday we fix. Got it on some weak shit. Got it on some weak. Got it on some weak. Text like where are you? We argue as if we don't say I love you. Sometimes I wonder if we really mean it when we say it. Amy sang love's a losing game. I wonder why we play it, and I wonder why we play it so well. How can an angel sent from heaven send me through all this hell? Hell, I put it through it too. Guess I'm guilty as well. But right now it ain't working like it's laid off, and I don't have patience like a doctor on his day off. Put my phone on silent to enjoy the quiet time. I'm trying to find some peace of mind without flying to an island. Blue water, sunny skies, water running from my eyes. Both would die if one leaves, so we'd rather live a lie than tell the truth. I need some intervention. Addicted, gotta get her out my system. And she just want a Sunday kind of love. I just wish things was where it was. Yeah. Monday I wanna be alone. Tuesday late waiting by the phone. Wednesday I don't call you. Thursday I'm gone. Friday you miss. Saturday we wrong, and Sunday we fix. Got it on some weak shit. Got it on some weak. Got it on some weak. Out the window to the world while it's staring in the minds. Eyes are windows to the world. You should open up your blinds. Staying on track, thoughts is running through my mind. Chasing dreams. running out of time. It's a thin line between love and hate, and it seems both are on my hands like Radio Raheem. Getting choked up from hurt, but survive the stress. Learn to live for more, always die for less. Thinking back to sitting at my mama's kitchen table, filling out a fast for every slave needs a master. I want it faster, so I wanna be a rapper. So does half the that I know, more than half that I don't.